Imagine stepping into the ring to fight your own brother, battling as enemies under the bright lights, while sharing the same blood behind the curtain. This is the story of Roman Reigns, the tribal chief, and his real-life brother Rosey. One ruled WWE's main event. The other was a beloved giant of the early 2000s. They were family first. But what if they had become enemies in the ring? Let's dive in. Roman Reigns and Rosey came from wrestling royalty. The legendary Anoa'i family, a dynasty that shaped the world of professional wrestling for generations. Their bloodline produced some of the biggest names to ever step inside the squared circle, including The Rock, Yokozuna, Rikishi, Umaga, and the Usos, all proud warriors carrying the family legacy forward. Born Lady Joseph Anoa'i, Roman Reigns grew up watching his family dominate the ring, learning from a young age what it meant to be part of this storied clan. He was the younger brother of Matthew Tapiyu Anoa'i, better known to wrestling fans as Rosey. While Rosey carved out his own path as a beloved big man in WWE, Roman Reigns was still just finding his place in the family's long line of champions. Together, they carried the pride, power, and responsibility of the Anoa'i name. A name that means respect and greatness not just in the ring, but to millions of fans around the world. For Roman, his brother Rosey was more than family. He was proof that the Anoa'i spirit would always rise to the top, generation after generation. Rosey first found fame in WWE in the early 2000s, stepping into the spotlight with a mix of strength and unexpected humor. He teamed up with the Hurricane, one of the most entertaining characters of that era. And together they created one of the most memorable comedic tag teams in WWE history. Embracing the role fully, Rosey proudly called himself the superhero in training, complete with a makeshift costume that turned him into the Hurricane's larger-than-life sidekick. Their segments were full of light-hearted moments, backstage skits, and goofy antics, but once they stepped into the ring, they brought serious power and surprising chemistry to the tag team division. Fans quickly grew to love Rosey's playful energy and genuine charisma. He wasn't just another big man. He was the gentle giant who made people smile while throwing opponents around like rag dolls. For a time, Rosey and the Hurricane gave WWE something unique. A perfect blend of comedy and strength that reminded everyone wrestling could be fun and fierce at the same time. Years later, Rosey's younger brother Joe stepped into WWE with a completely different energy and vision for his place in the family legacy. Under the name Roman Reigns, he burst onto the scene as part of the Shield, a ruthless faction dressed in black, tearing through the roster with tactical strikes and brute force. From day one, Roman carried himself with a quiet intensity that set him apart. He wasn't here to make people laugh. He was here to dominate. As the Shield exploded in popularity and then broke apart, Roman Reigns rose even higher, transforming himself from a powerhouse enforcer into the main event star the company would build its future around. He took on the mantle of the head of the table, declaring himself the tribal chief, not just for his family, but for the entire WWE universe. Where Rosey had been the fun-loving, larger-than-life big brother, Roman became something else entirely. A cold, calculating champion who demanded respect and crushed anyone who challenged his place at the top. In every arena he entered, Roman Reigns showed the world how the Anoa'i bloodline could adapt and evolve. From Rosey's comedic heroics to Roman's ruthless reign, the family legacy stayed unbreakable, shaping the past, present, and future of wrestling. Imagine for a second, what if their paths had crossed in the ring? Not as family cheering each other on, but as enemies locked in a battle for pride and power? Picture it. The big brother Rosey, the lovable gentle giant who once brought laughter and strength to the tag team division, now standing toe-to-toe with his own blood. Across the ring, the younger brother, Roman Reigns, no longer just Joe Anoa'i, but the ruthless, commanding tribal chief, the leader of the bloodline who demands loyalty and respect from everyone in his path. It would have been a clash like no other. Two brothers, Two different generations of the Anoa'i dynasty, carrying all the weight of their family's legacy into one unforgettable fight. Would Rosey have joined forces once again with his old partner, the Hurricane, hoping that a little humor and heart could break through Roman's iron rule? Or maybe, just maybe, Rosey could have shocked the world, turning heel for the first time, stepping out of his big brother's shadow to challenge Roman's claim to the throne and prove that being the tribal chief was not just about power, but about heart. It's a match that never happened, and never will. But for wrestling fans, it's the kind of dream scenario that shows why this family story is so legendary. A reminder that in wrestling, family ties can build heroes, villains, and battles that live forever in our imaginations. The brother versus brother war that could have torn the bloodline apart. If only. In real life, there was no dramatic rivalry, no betrayal, no family feud played out under the bright lights of an arena. Only pure brotherhood and pride. Rosey always stood behind Roman, cheering him on as his little brother rose through the ranks and became the face of WWE. For Rosey, seeing Roman succeed where he left off wasn't a threat. It was a fulfillment of their family's legacy, proof that the Anoa'i name would always stand tall in the wrestling world. Tragically, Rosey's story ended too soon. In 2017, at just 47 years old, he passed away from heart failure, leaving behind memories of laughter, strength, and the gentle giant who made fans smile every time he stepped into the ring. His passing was a heavy blow to Roman and the entire Anoa'i family. But Roman made sure his brother's name and spirit lived on. Every time Roman Reigns calls himself the head of the table, every time he defends his place as the tribal chief, he carries a piece of Rosey with him, a silent tribute to the big brother who walked the path first. In the legacy of the Anoa'i family, Rosey's story is more than just a chapter. It's a reminder that behind every champion stands a brother's love that never fades. Today, Roman Reigns stands at the very top of WWE, leading the bloodline, the most dominant, untouchable faction the company has seen in years. He's more than just a champion. He's the embodiment of what his family has always represented: power, pride, loyalty, and an unbreakable bond that ties generations together inside the squared circle. Every time Roman lifts that championship, every time he declares himself the head of the table, it's not just about titles and main events. It's about honoring a name that means everything to him. It's about proving that family is strength, and respect is earned through sacrifice and dominance. And somewhere beyond the bright lights and roaring crowds, you can imagine Rosey, the gentle giant with the big heart, looking down with a proud smile. He'd see his little brother carrying their family's legacy higher than ever, standing as the tribal chief not just for himself, but for every Anoa'i who stepped into the ring before him. In Roman Reigns, Rosey's spirit lives on, a reminder that in wrestling, family is forever. Roman Reigns and Rosey, two brothers who gave the WWE Universe unforgettable moments in different eras with the same legendary blood. In the ring, they might have been enemies. In life, they were always family. What do you think? Who would have won if they fought for real? Tell us in the comments. If you enjoyed this story, hit like, subscribe for more wrestling legends, and acknowledge the tribal chief. Thanks for watching. See you next time.